He's never hauled off and just punched the crap out of me, but I've been dragged, I've been thrown, I've been shook or shaken, I've been cursed out, I've had my life threatened, I've had a knife pulled on me.
I feel like no matter how I say it, how I do it, whatever tactic I take, it still comes across like I did it the wrong way. You know, people are like, what we supposed to do with this information?
They're out calling each other bitches, and then I'm sitting here first thing after seeing this is, where's my child? So I walk in the house, I see him even before I walk in the house. What's wrong?
All right, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you is about to flip your world upside down. Imagine waking up one day to find out that one of the biggest NBA stars is trending for reasons you would never expect. And no, we're not talking about an MVP title or a championship ring. We're talking about wild accusations, jaw-dropping footage, and some tea so hot it'll have you questioning everything you thought you knew. Trust me, this story has layers, and it all starts with a name you've heard before, Dwight Howard. Stay tuned, because this roller coaster is only just beginning. So here's the thing. Dwight Howard, an NBA superstar, has been making headlines for years, but not always for his skills on the court. This time, though, it's different. Let's rewind a bit to set the stage. Remember all those whispers about Diddy's infamous freak-off parties? Yeah, the ones with the craziest rumors floating around? Well, fast forward to now, and suddenly, Dwight's name is smack in the middle of it all. Why, you ask? Because footage has reportedly surfaced of Dwight wearing a dress and, wait for it, being more than just an attendee at these wild gatherings. Yep, you heard that right. Let's just say the streets have been talking and the tea is piping. But here's where things take a turn. Royce Reed, Dwight's ex and the mother of his child, has decided she's done holding back. She's spilling tea that's been brewing for years, and honestly, it's nothing short of shocking. Royce is taking us all the way back to 2004, when her relationship with Dwight began. They met at a movie theater and things moved fast. Royce, a former dancer for the Orlando Magic, the same team Dwight played for, thought she was building something real. But as she tells it, Dwight's charm quickly gave way to a toxic and controlling side that left her questioning everything. Royce didn't hold back as she painted a picture of her time with Dwight. She talked about how he begged for a second chance after cheating on her, how she decided to keep their baby despite the challenges it posed to her career, and how Dwight's response was, well, less than supportive. She claims he made her pregnancy a nightmare, and later made co-parenting a battle zone. And that's just scratching the surface.
I was one of those dirty dancers on the court, that I had nothing going for me, and that I was a mistake, that we never dated for real. All of a sudden, pictures that we used to have that were up, they were gone.
Let's talk about the accusations. Royce has shared stories of verbal, emotional, and even physical abuse during their relationship. She alleges that Dwight called her names, threatened her, and tried to isolate her from her support system. One particularly chilling incident involved Dwight threatening her with a knife, only to laugh it off as a joke afterward. And if you're thinking, well, that's terrible, but what about their child? Brace yourself. It gets worse. Royce claims that their son, Braylon, endured alarming treatment while staying with Dwight. According to her, he would return home sick, underfed, and exhibiting troubling behaviors that raised major red flags. And then there's the issue of the nanny Dwight hired. Royce says she had a gut feeling something was off, and later found out that this nanny had a history of harming children. Instead of addressing the situation, Dwight allegedly paid the nanny off to keep things quiet. Shocking, right? But it doesn't end there. Fast forward to the court battles. Royce describes a legal system that seemed stacked against her. She brought evidence of her concerns about Dwight's parenting, but claims the judge dismissed her accusations and even threatened to give Dwight full custody if she didn't back off. Royce admits she lost her cool in court, but who wouldn't when their child's safety is on the line? She's been labeled a bitter baby mama by some, but her side of the story paints a picture of a mother fighting against all odds to protect her child. And then there's Dwight's personal life, which is complicated to say the least. Over the years, rumors about his sexuality and lifestyle have swirled, fueled by incidents that have raised more than a few eyebrows. One of the most infamous involves a lawsuit from a man named Stephen Harper, who accused Dwight of inviting him to an intimate encounter, only to surprise him with another man dressed in women's clothing. Stephen claims he felt pressured into participating and was left traumatized by the experience. Dwight has denied these allegations, but the story adds another layer to an already messy narrative.
Earlier in the conversation, I asked you, did you feel that Dwight was And you said, well, he liked some freaky stuff, but, he never brought a man home or a trans home or anything else like that. So what have you been saying that made you feel like this was going to come out eventually?
Well, because of what I experienced and witnessed during quarantine. You didn't ask me about that. You asked me before.
What happened during quarantine then?
There were a lot of parties, and we're supposed to be on quarantine. So that was an issue in itself because who are these people?
And let's not forget the parties. Royce has hinted that Dwight's home life included gatherings that were far from family-friendly. She even compared them to the infamous Diddy parties, saying her son was exposed to environments no child should ever be around. During quarantine, Royce stayed at Dwight's house briefly and witnessed some of these wild parties firsthand. She's been vocal about the impact this had on their son, who she says displayed troubling behaviors as a result. But the plot thickens. Just when you think you've heard it all, Royce drops a bombshell about Dwight's alleged connection to Zachary Timms, a pastor who passed away under mysterious circumstances. Royce has questioned why Dwight's name came up in connection with Timms, adding yet another layer of intrigue to this already tangled web. Now let's fast forward to today. Out of nowhere, Dwight announces his engagement to rapper and reality TV star Amy Luciani. The news caught everyone off guard, especially given Dwight's history. Amy's Instagram posts paint a picture of a loving, supportive relationship, but the timing has raised eyebrows. Is this a genuine love story, or is Amy playing a role to help Dwight clean up his image? The streets are buzzing, and opinions are divided. At the heart of all this is a story of power, control, and the lengths people will go to protect their image. Dwight Howard is a household name, but the allegations and accusations surrounding him paint a far more complicated picture than the one we see on the court. Whether you believe Royce's account or not, her story sheds light on the challenges of navigating toxic relationships and co-parenting under public scrutiny. So, what do you think? Is Dwight Howard the victim of a smear campaign, or is there more to this story than meets the eye? And what about Royce? Is she a mother fighting for justice, or is she, as some critics suggest, driven by bitterness? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who loves a good dose of tea. Trust me, you'll want to stay tuned for the next chapter in this saga. Until next time, keep sipping.